And as a 20-year industry professional, and you're in this program, and now in your own company, you see a lot of companies, they know they have a need for data and analytics, but does the leadership understand it or what they need to do? Right. And how can this program help that?
Yeah, most certainly. So, I speak to those leaders who are in the field, who are in management positions. I was a director in a position, and I really knew all of my business. I knew all of the strategy components of it. But when it came to really looking at insights and making decisions, we really had to lean on the data experts for that, right? So there's lots of rapport that comes in management of that, in translating what it is that the organization needs and wants to accomplish. And we found that there were some errors even in that translation. And I wasn't quite comfortable with that as a leader in the organization. I really wanted to be able to understand the data and really take that into consensus. So, I speak to all of the leaders who are out there in the healthcare space who really don't have that sort of healthcare analytics component, who want to be stronger in those communications with their employees around really delivering insights and really getting you guys to your objectives. And this program really kind of did that for me and scaled consensus in such a dramatic way.
Great. So graduating this program fills a lot of needs out, whether it be in public health, in industry, in big pharma or whatever. So that's really great. But with that too, it's also attracting a diverse student body. David, could you comment on we're getting students from all different disciplines and experiences. I'd like you to comment on that if you could.
Sure. I think I would say that the health analytics, even though we say it's one of the big industry, but it's still considered as a new to analytics space, because generally speaking, this industry requires students not only knows data analytics but also knows healthcare very well. And so it's a combine both aspects. And so we have students coming, as Joe mentioned, we have students coming from all different backgrounds, with backgrounds in supply chain, business administration, healthcare, medicine, and also engineering. And so we have students coming from all over the different parts of the New Jersey and also New York, Pennsylvania, and other parts of the country, including international countries such as India and China. And so I think one of the aspects we are looking for is one of the philosophy of, because I hold this philosophy, which is our program is providing opportunities, open new doors or new windows for candidates in this program. We're not considered as a privilege, but it's also help them to build a connection. So one of the aspects I think Tiffany probably will agree is really we have a very strong bonding and within the program, not only students in the program, but also students between students and alumni. People such as Tiffany as alumni step in to help students to make further connections with the industry. I think that's one of the very unique aspects. That's why we have so much diversified population in the program, but also we get along with each other very well and we learn from each other. We grow together.
That's great. So you really are building a true, I'll call it, global ecosystem. And I think you mentioned that, and Tiffany, maybe you can comment. There is the very tangible, the analytics tools and things like that you learn, but then there's the kind of the intangible, and that's the sense of community that the cohorts of this program have. There's a tremendous sense of community and something you don't always see at big universities, and here we're having it. Did you want to comment and have any experiences with that, Tiffany?
Yeah, so being the first group to graduate from the program, we noticed that the student population was very diverse, and that was attractive to us, as a cohort, as a group, because there was really sort of diversity of thought, even as we moved through some of the really challenging components of the degree. But we noticed that, and I do notice, and I will say that even in that cohort, I've actually leveraged advisory from physicians in the space, right? From other students who have been in the space have come into consensus to actually help me and do advisory. And how I really sort of explain it, and when I talk to and mentor some of the students as part of my board activities, we can really see that connectivity in the cohort area itself. But I think it's also really important to pull out how you engage with us, how Dr. Ding engages with us in that type of closeness where You're not sort of just your registration number, and it's really engaging in the specialized degree. And I think some of the actual work that we do really puts us in that close proximity in terms of doing those activities, and then really to have an alumni base and then a board base. So it's really 4 tiers of community that you actually see in action here. You know, we've all gone to multiple universities at graduate level, and this is really just more than an email, right? More than an alumni email with a meetup type of situation. And just to give an example of some of the interactions that I've had, you know, beyond my cohort and having students provide advisory into my company, you know, David and I stay very close to the students, even in the cohorts now, in this virtual environment, where we're actually able to have a student join me at a global healthcare information management conference in Europe, you know,
Wow.
although we were all virtual. That's something that we offered to someone in the cohort. Now we actually have an intern from another cohort who is actually doing summer internships with us. And we look to do, you know, many, many more things, but really have the conversation with them within the program and beyond the program to say, you know, what is it that you want to accomplish as your career plan? And I think our close proximity of what Dr. Ding was actually explaining really kind of flushes that out for everyone. I think the students are actually quite surprised at the access that they have, not just to the conferences, but to our network. Who did you meet at the conference? Who would you like to connect to? How is this fitting within your, you know, universal plan for your career? So that's very, very unique. And, you know, our specialized degree makes us specialized in that way as well in terms of our networking.